like to request the Matajis who are seated over here, if we can please move as well. If we can move closer to the Mataji side so we can allow some Prabhus to move forward.
Actually, this should be over here.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, so much for your cooperation. I can see we outnumber the Prabhus somehow, so we can just show them our spirit of cooperation and slightly all move to your right so that I can allow some Prabhus to move forward. Matas, I'm going to ask you to move as well if possible, please. Thank you. Can I also request that the younger able-bodied devotees who are on chairs, if you can please give them up, that is the etiquette, so that our senior devotees, our older masters and Prabhus may have comfortable seating and you can come closer to the front. And finally, if I can please request that we switch off all our cell phones as we are about to commence with this evening's Vyasa Puja proceedings. A very special welcome to His Holiness Parthasaraj Das Goswami Maharaj, who has so graciously allowed his disciples and all wishes to offer this wonderful Vyasa Puja celebration to him. We're going to say thank you, Maharaj, for allowing us this opportunity. Also, a very warm welcome to His Holiness Ram Govinda Swami. In his absence, His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami who will join us shortly. We also extend our welcome to His Grace Swarup Damodar Prabhu, His Grace Guru Chaitanya Prabhu, and His Grace Prabhu Prabhu. And we want to also thank Prabhu Prabhu for allowing us to host the Vyasa Puja celebrations here at the new Jagannath Puri temple. As is customary, we will commence this evening's proceedings with Maharaj's Vyasa Puja address.
Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Hare. A little bit louder. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Everyone, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Tell these men to come and sit. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya
Jaya
Back in time, and we'll try all the men. Gender discrimination there. All the men, put your hands in the air and go, Hare Krishna! Wasn't that Maharaj? Nice, huh? But try it again, man. Put a little bit more vigor into it. You are the men. Hare Krishna! Is that all right? All right, now ladies, your turn now to use your mouths. You have a reputation. All right, after me. Hare Krishna!
They are victorious.
They are victorious. All right, let's just try that again for the ladies. Put your hands in the air. Deep, deep, deep breath. Hare Krishna! And the man hands in the air. Hare Krishna! Who's victorious now? All balance. If we could just have the GBC member come here, and he's coming, I hope, then he could get the final decision. Well, let's try one more time, men. Hare Krishna! Now I'm going to ask you to stand up and we'll carry on the kids. You can stand up. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jagannath, Asta Tarasata Shishim with divine grace, abiding current in the Bhakti and the Goswami Prabhupada. Istam Vivikanda Acharya Shila Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Asta Tarasata Shishim with divine grace, Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Asta Tarasata Shishim divine grace, Shri Gopi Shodas Bhakti Maharaj ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Asta Tarasata Shishim divine grace, Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Asta Tarasata Shishim divine grace, Jagannath Bhakti Maharaj ki Sad Goswami ki Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Samat Radha Kundi Govardhana ki Vrindavan Dhama ki Mayapur Nagari Dhama ki Jagannath Puri Dhama ki Gamaya ki Jai Gamaya ki Jai Tulsi Devi ki Jai Bhakti Devi ki Jai Gaur Premanande. Oh glory to Samadhi. Oh glory to Samadhi. Oh glory to Samadhi. Oh glory to Shikuru. Oh glory to Shikuru. We're fortunate. His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj is gracing gracing us with his presence. As you know, Srila Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj is our President GBC representative. We're fortunate to have Maharaj here. Now we are seeing a little less of His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj because his association has been appreciated much more in Eastern Europe. And he has great responsibilities in Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, Siberia, that part of the world, and many disciples. And then Maharaj also has to attend the GBC meetings. One is coming up shortly, so he's, I think, leaving on Monday. And attending the meeting where the future of our ISKCON society is discussed and their planning, strategic, etc. And so you want me to tune it down a bit? That's his way of saying turn it off. So we're fortunate. Maharaj has been in South Africa since 1980 and helped tremendously. Without him, I don't think the actual would have blossomed like this. I'd also like to thank Brother Rangavinda Maharaj for coming, and we hope that he will come more often. I know there's some that you're very welcome, and Rangavinda Maharaj has now also been authorized to accept disciples. So this will be very nice. Hope that intelligent people will accept him as Diksha Guru within the ISKCON mission. We want to be connected to Prabhupada. He's our Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj himself, he's our Guru, your Param Guru. So we want to connect through the bona fide disciple succession. So we're very encouraged that Rangavinda Maharaj is active now and will accept disciples. Also, I'd like to thank Prabhana Prabhu for allowing us to use this wonderful facility and also being the inspiration with other leading devotees, Rupa Jagannath and Rupa Nugusari and others, behind building this temple. We're very much looking forward to phase 2, which will come in the course of time. But his contribution is very much appreciated by Prabhupada and his disciples. And I'd like to thank Sarup Damodar Prabhu also, and has been here a number of years. I found out the other day he had been a temple president for 16 years. So that goes. Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj was also temple president. He was 4 things at once. Remember you told me? I will remind you. He was bona fide guru with many disciples. He was bona fide sannyasi. He was member of GBC and temple president. All 4 in one. So he will attest how difficult it is to be a temple president, and Sarup Damodar was for 16 years. 16 blissful years. Temple president. So we thank him also for his significant contribution, and also Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu, who's now taking on that responsibility and preaching, distributing books, inspiring devotees. So this is very wonderful. In 1972, I'll just talk for a few moments. Jagannath Subhadra Balaram ki in 1972, Prabhupada was in Vrindavan. It's the only time Prabhupada spent a month of Kartik. Although now Kartik is a big thing for us. And Maharaj goes, Ram Govinda Maharaj also goes on Parakram many times. So now we've emphasized more the month of Kartik, the holy months of Kartik, spending time in Vrindavan. Previous, we were more neophyte devotees, we didn't really know so much. But Prabhupada did spend the month of October, most of the month, in 1972, and he stayed in the Radha Damodar temple, which is where his quarters are. And he recorded a series of tapes called Nectar Devotion Series, which are very famous and very nice. So he had a disciple read from the Nectar Devotion, and then Prabhupada would comment on it. And in the first tape, now this is recorded on the 20th of October, 1972, Prabhupada, in the middle of his talk, or towards the end, he referred to a newspaper cutting that he just got from South Africa. So 2 devotees had come to South Africa, and this was in September 1972. So now Prabhupada was looking at the newspaper article, and it was October 1972. So the 2 devotees that came was Rishikumar Goswami, who was actually only 20 years old. He was a Goswami, 20 years old. And Shruti Prabhu, who's come here on a number of occasions, a very wonderful Vaishnava. He's practicing Krishna consciousness on the West Coast in America. So these 2 devotees came here, and there was a newspaper article. And Prabhupada read the newspaper article, and he said, at least a heading, said, Krishna message comes to SA. Krishna message comes to SA. And Prabhupada read that, and then he said twice, this is very encouraging. This is very encouraging. So, we want to this service by the Vaishnavas is very encouraging. We want to encourage. So I'll ask Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj to speak.
Om Shri Krishna, praise sadhu today. Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vijayani. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastutyani Shtani. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchkantrubhisya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I actually don't know Parthasarathi Maharaja's pranam mantra or mantras, but is one of them Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasad Shrimati Parthasarathi Goswami Iti Namani? Is it something like that? Is that it, or is it something? It is it.
There's a second side.
Oh, okay. Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasad Shrimati Parthasarathi Goswami Iti Namani. Iti Namani. Iti Namani. Hare Krishna. I'm just so extremely happy to be sitting here at the lotus feet of Parthasarathi Maharaj. It's really wonderful. Normally, somehow we sit on the same level, but look at that. And I don't know if you know the story, I'm not going to go into it, but I don't know if you know the story of when Advaita Acharya wanted to be treated as a junior by Lord Chaitanya. It's a bit of a long story, but he went to great lengths to be treated as a junior, and when he was, he felt extremely happy to be treated as a junior. So sitting beneath Maharaj at his lotus feet, without having to, go through some special performance, I'm sincerely very happy and honored, actually, to sit at the lotus feet of my senior godbrother. He actually joined the temple before me in Berry Place in London. He was already there. And then he came here, and his heart is so much here. I mean, not just here, but his heart is so much with all of you, all of us, but all of you. Really, it's a fact. I just sort of jet around here and there, acquiring frequent flyer miles. Oh yes. But Maharaj gives serious time here. Maydavi Prabhu, I fly around so much. Maydavi Prabhu describes me as being a UFO. Yes. So Parthasarathi Maharaj. Well, Srila Prabhupada came here in 1975. Parthasarathi Maharaj was already here for a while, and nicely engaged in spreading Krishna consciousness in different ways at that point. And Srila Prabhupada came, was October, wasn't it? So 75 October means plus or minus Kartik time. And Srila Prabhupada saw the potential for Krishna consciousness in different ways. In the broad sense, the whole nation, but then also in a particular sense for the Indian community. And so Srila Prabhupada felt encouraged, as Maharaj said twice. Prabhupada said he felt very encouraged. And let's face it would simply just be a matter of being realistic and sort of being sufficiently informed of the history. If one is just sufficiently informed, one would know that the person who fulfilled desire of Srila Prabhupada, and who, how would you say it, took to heart this idea of Srila Prabhupada's of being encouraged. The person who really did it was His Holiness Parthasarathi Maharaj. And I'm not just being nice, on his special day, but this is just a simple, practical reality that he's done more than practically, I'd say, everyone else put together for spreading Krishna consciousness and giving Krishna and helping people become devotees and helping devotees to become better devotees. Such a debt of gratitude is owed to him. It's just, I don't know what to say other than it's really great. The debt is great. And I've done my little bit. I've sort of fluttered around here and there. President in Cato Ridge for a while, a couple of years. Went around selling paintings for a couple of years, and a bit of this and a bit of that. GBC for a while. One of our previous GBCs, the late Jayatirtha Das, he translated GBC, this term, these initials, Great Big Crisis. So I try to avoid creating too many crises. I'm not always successful though. Yes, but Parthasarathi Maharaj has been giving his heart, has given his heart to all of you, actually. There's a nice little passage in the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 4th chapter, the story of Maharaj Ambarish, cursed by Vyasa Muni, and all the things that unfolded from that. And Vyasa Muni, cursed the great devotee Maharaj Ambarish, and because that Maharaj Ambarish is such a great devotee, and cursing is just such a horrible and nonsense thing to do. So cursing a great devotee, the Lord sent the Sudarshan Chakra to kill Vyasa Muni, and it was pursuing him here and there. And he went and asked different personalities, even great demigods, to ask for protection from it. They couldn't help. He ended up with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Vaikuntha and begged him that you're famous for having a very merciful heart. You're very kind to the distressed, and I'm distressed. I'm so distressed. So, with your very merciful heart, please give me some mercy and save me from being annihilated by your own chakra. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead told him, you're right. I have a very merciful heart, and I feel for those who are distressed and suffering. But there is a very serious problem with my heart, and that is that I do not have it any longer. I have given it to my devotees. So if you want some mercy from my merciful heart, that's fine, but you have to go to the devotees. particularly Maharaj Ambarish. So it's a, not unrelated situation here that Parthasarathi Maharaj has given his heart. Many times I was there on the 10th campaign, at least I used to visit fairly regularly, 1980-81, and he got into it so much. Do you remember the fish play? Dr. Swat-a-lot? He was Dr. Swat-a-lot. See, whenever I see him, I get visions of tents. So it just comes tense, and people on the left side and people on the right side, all that sort of thing. Right, okay, so yeah, he really gave his heart. And when a devotee gives their heart, success comes. Inevitably. Where does the success come from? It comes from the mercy of Krishna, but in his Krishna reciprocating with the devotee who's given his or her heart. And that's the secret of the success of the 10th campaign. And of course it also went on after Radharanam Temple was opened. It went on. And here we are. And so many of you have become devotees, or at the very least being significantly influenced to become devotees or in your Krishna consciousness, directly or indirectly by Parthasarathi Maharaj. So, and it's because he's given his heart to you, to the Lord, to Prabhupada, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Devi, Radha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but to you. And gratitude is an extremely important sort of element in the consciousness of a Vaishnava. If you have a Vaishnava who doesn't have gratitude sufficiently, I don't know if you really have a Vaishnava or what sort of Vaishnava you have, but it's not really a real Vaishnava. So we owe a great debt of gratitude to His Holiness Parthasarathi Maharaj. And don't worry, I won't go on forever. I could. But I would just like to encourage you all of you, to try and meditate on this. Yeah. The development of gratitude is intimately connected with the development of love. Yes. Without gratitude, what sort of love could you have? Love is not just some emotional sentiment that, oh, I love you, but it's a very broad, it's a whole sort of multifaceted type of consciousness, type of mood and feelings. So please do that. Please do that, because it's just right. It's just true. It's not, some sort of getting carried away with things or being patronizing, but it's simply a fact, a reality, fact of life. Yes, so there you go. And I am personally extremely grateful to Parthasarathi Maharaj. He encourages me, yes. He encourages me. The various godbrothers who I have association with, generally they encourage me. I think he encourages me more than anyone. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. And His Divine Grace Parthasarathi Das Goswami Maharaj Ki. His Divine Grace Srila Parthasarathi Das Goswami Maharaj Ki. Om Premanande.
We'd like to ask His Holiness Ramanuja Swami to say a few words. Raj is a disciple of His Holiness Jagannath Swami, and he hails from Tirupati. He's an astute scholar of Vedic literature and speaks many languages. His Holiness Ramanuja Swami Maharaj Ki.
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते पार्थदास गोस्वामी महाराज के नाम। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी के नाम। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवाद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Today is the most auspicious day because today is the celebrating appearance of His Holiness Parthasarathi Das Goswami Maharaj. To be with such a wonderful few devotees is great with the blessings for us. We can get everything in the material world, but not the association of the few devotees of the world. Few devotees are appreciated by it will not always be appreciated. Just now, His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj was referring from the pastimes of Ambarish Maharaj. In the same pastimes, Lord Hari Krishna speaks about the glories of the few devotees of the Lord. Sadhavo hridayam mahyam sadhunam tam aham madanyate na janeti naham tebhyo anagati. Few devotees always, Lord says that they are in my heart. I am in their heart. My devotees know nothing other than me, so I also don't know anyone other than my devotees. So Maharaj of such time, you can see all the time, you never see Maharaj doing talking something, only Hare Krishna. Whenever I meet Maharaj in temple, Maharaj only speaks about Krishna. After sannyas, when I came to Durban first time, after sannyas, before I came many times, I got all this guidance from His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj. So Maharaj, as with Sudama Prabhu was in the car, I said, Maharaj is there, he said, no, he's doing the parikrama and chanting at almost 10 o'clock. Then, okay, can I take darshan? He said, no, go try it. Then I went, Maharaj coming, I paid obeisance to Maharaj. Then he asked me, embraced me, said, let us go to your Maharaj. Maharaj, your health is not good. Just give me blessing, mercy. No, better. Maharaj came to the room, and for 2 hours, Maharaj guided me how sannyasi should be. What sannyasi must do. He's given so much encouragement. Go anywhere in Africa, South Africa you go, I will give all facilities for you. Whatever you want, tell me, but go and preach every day. Such a great encouragement can come from few devotees. So you can see, Maharaj taught me so many things in the 2 hours time. I was feeling that Maharaj was that time not good. Till Maharaj took so much time to give the instructions required for the sannyasa in ashram. So the very rare opportunity we get to get association of just sitting near to the few doors of the Lord, we get all the mercy. Just like Srila Prabhupada, one of the lecture given, that just by sitting in the sunlight, we get all the heat and everything benefits of the sunlight. Though sun is very, very far away, the same way just we sit near to the pure devotees, we get all this. When you sit with the spiritual master, it is another life we are. You can see how many, the whole hall is full of devotees, the ocean of the devotees. So, and the Lord always gives, Lord so gives in the concern for the true devotees. The Lord said, I am always with the true devotees. The final instruction to Uddhava, Lord Sri Krishna himself there gives how much he gives respect and concern for the true devotees. Lord says that I am always there to go with the pure devotees. Why? I take the dust from the pure devotees, which can fill the whole universe and me. Nirapecham manim shantim nirvairam samadarshanam anuvrajamiham nityam kuyetam viriviluvi. So, when you are with the holiness of Father Das Goswami Maharaj, we are actually with Krishna because God is with them and we are restricted to them. So, taking association of the wonderful pure devotees, the great blessings for many, many lifetimes, when you do pious activities, the result of those pious activities that we get association of the devotee satsang. But when that pious act further increases by devotional service, by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, by the mercy of Guru and Hari, we get the association of the pure devotees like Maharaj. It is a great opportunity to pursue. By taking association of such great Mahatmas, we also gradually move in the direction of the devotional service. We remain fixed. So today, a few days back, Maharaj was so kind enough to send me a letter. She gave so much encouragement, and I respect that Maharaj knows that I am here. I don't know how Maharaj came to know. So, Maharaj gave me so much encouragement. So, it is a great, I thought that Maharaj so much good kind that he has given blessings to preach in South Africa. Maharaj just now also said. But by the encouragement and blessings of the pure devotees only, we can remain properly situated in the devotional service. I pray the Supreme Lord Jagannath, Valdesha Rudra, Radha Radhanath, so that Lord, His Holiness Patata Das Goswami Maharaj mercy always with me so that I can be fixed in my spiritual sannyas ashram. And as Maharaj directed me, I can continue to preach the mission of Srila Prabhupada. His Holiness, His Divine Grace, Bhaktadas Goswami Maharaj ki.
His Holiness Goswami Maharaj.
I'm sorry, just to interject a moment. I want to give you a present. Is that okay?
A suitable present would be the dust from your feet.
Just here, look at this. Don't you think this is a better present? Sorry, raise the tongue. Okay. She Radha, okay.
has a very busy schedule, so he will leave us. Don't be shy.
His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki.
It's very nice to have Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj as our GBC. One of my godbrothers compared him to the Rock of Gibraltar. He is a steadiness personified. And he's guiding and helping us like this. It's very wonderful. I'll ask Sri Damodar Prabhu, I'll say a few words. Sri Damodar Prabhu is extremely senior Vaishnava here in South Africa and very beloved disciple of His Holiness Dheeraj Maharaj, who started coming here in 1982. Dheeraj Swami. And we missed his association, but unfortunately Dheeraj Swami he had a heart attack and he wants to finish his book. This is his most important contribution, and to do this he wants to stay in one place. But Sri Damodar Prabhu and others, Rupanuga and Jagannath and others have gone and served him there. We'll ask Sri Damodar Prabhu to just be something more about principal tattva, perhaps a guru, and being a very surrendered disciple to his guru. He can give us a little indication of how you become a good disciple. And then after him, Prabhana Prabhu's going to say a few words. And then if the Lord Chaitanya Prabhu is it, he's going to say a few words. And give him warning.
Jnananjana-shalakayam chakshurunmilitam tasmai Shri-Gurave Namaha. Vancha-kalpatarubhyascha kripa-sindhubhya-yaivisha Patitanam bhaganebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Dasto Swami Namine. Hare Krishna. We feel very honored and humbled at the same time to be asked to share some thoughts on such an important and momentous day in all of our lives here in South Africa. The very, very moving celebration of the appearance of His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj. As His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj was speaking earlier, and just before he got to that point, I was thinking how, I don't know if it would be far-fetched or a miscalculation, I highly doubt it, but that everyone in this room today, really almost everyone in this room today, has either directly or indirectly come to Krishna consciousness, either directly by His Holiness Tathagata Maharaj's preaching, or by somebody who Maharaj has preached to in some way and cultivated. We have all come in some way by the efforts of Tathagata Maharaj. Ultimately, of course, by the efforts of His Divine Grace Srila Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I was thinking, Maharaj has so many wonderful qualities. Of course, all those qualities are perfectly reposed in the personality of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. But reflecting so many of those wonderful qualities, Tathagata Maharaj, I find in him one very special quality, and that is his humility. A couple of years ago, I realized that it's an area I have very, very great difficulty with in my personal life, to be a humble person. Srila Prabhupada writes in his purport to the verse in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that humility means that one should not be anxious after the satisfaction of being honored by others. And just that definition is very difficult for me to try and comprehend and imbibe in my own life. So difficult that I realize that I really need help with that aspect. And for those of you who know me a little, you'll agree with me. It's a very difficult situation for me. I really do need help. And one can try to cultivate humility on one's own, one can practice humility, one can offer obeisances, one can do so many things. But really the best way to cultivate humility is to be blessed by someone who is humble, to be instructed and guided by someone who is genuinely humble, and to be thought of kindly by someone who is genuinely humble. And I feel very, very fortunate that in my life I have the association, I have the kindness, I have the generosity showered upon me by Srila Prabhupada Das Goswami for so many years, despite being so unqualified myself. One aspect of humility that I was thinking about, that without humility one cannot tolerate and one cannot cooperate with each other. And this is something I find of a mantra of Maharaj, a very repetitive mantra that he's been teaching all of us. Tolerate, tolerate, cooperate. Something he got from His Holiness Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj many, many years ago. And without a deep-seated humility, one cannot cooperate, one cannot tolerate. So I thank Maharaj for all his efforts in my life, for helping me get over the tendency to not tolerate, get over the tendency to not cooperate, and that comes from humility. And as the devotees, the sannyasis were speaking earlier, I was thinking, where does humility come from? Where is it born from? We may find so many humble people in the world, but a devotee's humility is very, very special. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur guides us that dainya or humility and prema, they are synonymous. They are actually one and the same thing, manifest in different ways. So I find, and I'm convinced that Maharaj's humility actually comes from his love. His love for Krishna, the divine couple, his love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for Srila Prabhupada, and also manifests in his love for all of us, as His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj was mentioning. So that is something that I'm very eager to develop, love, because with love we can be humble. And by the association of Maharaj, I'm confident that maybe in this lifetime, possibly in future lifetime, we will be able to develop love, and thus humility, and thus tolerate and cooperate. And being so merciful to me, he's also sent me his representative in my own home to help me tolerate and cooperate. Thank you, Maharaj, for all your efforts in my life, both distant and near. We very much appreciate your input in my life. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj.
So I'll ask Ravana Prabhu, and I would very like to hear something, as Prabhupada was encouraged, 1972, about this phase 2 and the idea behind it and momentum, and this would be nice in service of the Guru.
Come again to an understanding and then it's like such shouldn't be a testimony. Once a couple of days in the past, and Patina, Havani, Krishna, Namo Vishnu Daya, Krishna Prasthaya, Vishnu Prasthaya, Das Goswami. But I want to say thank you. Firstly, for tolerating me. I know I'm not the easiest person in the world to manage, raising me. And something Maharaj told me some 5 years ago, which is very close to my heart, and in which I'd like to really express my gratitude for. And Maharaj told me that every day he prays for my spiritual welfare. So the reason I'm still chanting Hare Krishna and still practicing as a Vaishnava is purely by the mercy of His Holiness Vyasa. That's supposed to be much. Like what Chaitanya Maharaj and Ram Govinda Maharaj and Chokranda Prabhu has alluded, Maharaj has touched everybody's lives in so many ways in South Africa, in many aspects actually. And I remember one conversation that I had with Maharaj many years ago before this temple project really started. We were walking in front of Mother Gopriya's house, and Maharaj was telling me to read books on management. So imagine that, Swami is telling me to read books on how to manage. And I was thinking, I should be reading Prabhupada's books. Why should I read books on management actually? But little did I realize that that instruction was very important in my development as a person, as a devotee. And years later, I took that opportunity to start reading some books on management, and thanks to Maharaj's instruction, I've learned quite a lot of things. So thank you once again, Maharaj, for that instruction. It was very helpful. In terms of the aspirations of Jagannath Puri, I mean, Maharaj has been very instrumental in having 10 campaigns here from 1976. It was, I think, the first 10 campaign you had. That was the strongest, if I remember, from the recollection to the devotees. And many years, throughout the time, I remember a 10 campaign we had in Stanmore, where the monkey was taking off because of the heavy wind and rain, and we were trying to hang on to this rope so the monkey could be alive. And Maharaj walked in, there were very few devotees at that time, and very little members of the public also. And Maharaj sat down and he started to sing the Shingadev prayers. And lo and behold, the rain stopped, the wind stopped, and everything disappeared. But there was no way we could have a program because we were all soaking wet in the weather. Many times, Krishna Chandra Prabhu will bear testimony that the monkey collapsed while we were inside the monkey. So we had some fun and games, but because of those programs, because of the austerity that Maharaj executed, we have this wonderful opportunity to have this new Jagannath Puri temple with the cooperation of all the devotees. In terms of what phase 2 looks like, with the blessing of Maharaj and the senior Vaishnavas, we have this dream and this desire to build something substantial for devotees in the area, to reside in, to take advantage of, and to glorify and to worship Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra, but ultimately to try and worship Sri Prabhupada. So it's a nice design, it's a very enthusiastic plan. It'll cost us quite a lot of money. So if anybody has spare money lying around the bank account, please, I'll send you the bank details. So that's the idea that we want to do, but with the mercy of the devotees, we hope and pray that one day we'll be successful. But for my personal sense, I would like to say thank you once again to Maharaj for his kindness and his mercy that he bestows upon me. And I pray on this most auspicious day of the Vyasa Puja that you will please continue to keep me in your prayers. And hopefully I will be able to come and go to one day. Hare Krishna. This divine grace of Sadhana Ki. To the Prabhupada Ki.
Thank you, Ravana Prabhu, for taking on so much responsibility in Prabhupada's personal preaching mission, and also Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu. Where is he? Is Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu here? Anyhow, we'd like to thank him also. He's taking on tremendous pressure as temple president and inspiring book distribution. And all the other senior Vaishnavas, Midrand, Radhe Shyam Prabhu, Chaitanya Prabhu, Nandasej Prabhu, in Soweto. Nanda Kumar in particular has taken on tremendous responsibility preaching in Santon. Although he's somewhat older, he's taken on the responsibility of accepting disciples of extremely ambitious projects in Santon. And he's taking on this responsibility and offering this to Prabhupada. And also a Newcastle building. And so we'd like to ask Malika Prabhu, where is she? She can just say a few words. I remember Malika when I did campaign in Welbidat. And then we did a Namahata in Welbidat. And we took a picture about 1980 in one wooden, like a Wendy house in Welbidat. And all the devotees were outside. She was a mother, passed away, and her sisters. And she was about 12 years old. Literally, I got the picture, you can. She had like knobbly knees, snotty nose. But she surrendered when the temple opened and did tremendous service. And whole family got initiated and still does tremendous service. So very dear disciple of Viraj Maharaj and grand disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So she speak a few things about being a disciple.
Namo Krishna Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutani Shrimati Bhakti Goswami Atinamine Pancha Kalpatarodisya Kripa Sindhurecha Patitinam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Firstly, I'd like to thank Maharaj for being the foundation in my Krishna consciousness and actually giving me a purpose in my life. Secondly, I'd like to thank Maharaj for allowing me to know who Srila Prabhupada actually is and his position in ISKCON. And thirdly, I also like to thank you, Maharaj, for actually engaging my body, mind, and soul in the loving devotional service of Sri Sri Radha Krishna. I also want to take this opportunity, Maharaj, to thank you for allowing me to work in such wonderful association with such wonderful disciples of yours. I want two of them to mention, Mother Sukumari, Mother Nikunja, Mother Vasastali, and many more of them. Thank you, Maharaj, for allowing me to get to know who these devotees are. As Swarup Prabhu mentioned, that everyone who's sitting here could be directly or indirectly connected to Maharaj in some way in their Krishna consciousness. And I also feel the same way. I do know that Maharaj has touched many devotees' hearts here. Recently, I went for a retreat at the Johannesburg with His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj. And he was telling us to think of some devotees in our lives who carries these wonderful qualities of these Vaishnavas. And if I cover anybody, it was Sarati Maharaj, who I really thought about, who resembles all those wonderful qualities of a Vaishnava. He's very caring, very dedicated to Srila Prabhupada. I think he personally extends himself to any one of us who would actually approach him. He's very approachable. And Maharaj is always, worrying about devotees and their services in Krishna consciousness. And I think devotees are very much appreciated when they felt that they are cared and they are loved. And by Maharaj's care and love, it actually brings them closer to Srila Prabhupada and to the spiritual masters that they actually have, and to knowing their purposes in their life. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Maharaj for being there for my mother, who had left last year. He personally guided us right through. on how she should leave her body. And I felt with Maharaj's mercy, I felt I could never ask for anything more but his mercy, leading her to Srila Prabhupada and truly Parampara. Maharaj, I want to thank you, and I want to please pray on this auspicious day that you continue to bless us. And I also want to thank you for your wonderful service that you are rendering to ISKCON for Srila Prabhupada. I'm sure Srila Prabhupada must be smiling at you for such a wonderful services that you have performed. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Our next speaker is His Grace Ratin Krishna Das, who is a disciple of His Holiness Parthasarathi Goswami Maharaj. He's an avid scholar of Srila Prabhupada's books, the BBA degree, and he preaches as per Maharaj's instruction all over South Africa. And tonight he will deliver the message on behalf of all of the disciples. His Grace Ratin Krishna Prabhu Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki.
I was born in the darkest of ignorance, but my spiritual master opened my eyes to the torchlight of knowledge. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances and this lotus feet. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Devi Shesha Shunyavadi Prasya Kyari Sadarine Pancha Kalpaturu Yasya Kripa Sindhu Vekja Padidana Bhavane Yo Vishnavibhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Sri Advaita Gadadhara Vyasa Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Das Goswami Namande Nama Bhajana Shamshaya Yamde Saguru Desya Snapikam Siddhavatsala. Hare Krishna devotees. So, with your permission and blessings, we'd like to say something in glorification of Guru Maharaj. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes to Arjuna in the 4th chapter about this parampara system that he's authenticating, and that if this system is followed, then the true knowledge of what Krishna wants to give can be disseminated to the world. So we are very fortunate to be connected to such a lineage and to have a bona fide spiritual master. It's described in scripture that only a fortunate soul can be Brahmante Bhagavan, Brahmante Kon Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasad Bhai Bhakti Lata Beach. That only a fortunate soul can have the opportunity to meet such a great soul that can give him the connection to Krishna and plant the Bhakti Lata, the seed of devotion in the heart. So we heard so many wonderful glorifications and appreciations of Guru Maharaj's effort in the South African Yatra and abroad. And today is the Vyasa Puja. It's actually the day that the disciple has some realization of who the personality is that's helping him or her in their devotional service. It's the disciples' awareness of the person who's praying for them, the person who's given them the beads, the person who is guiding them, the person who is patient with them, despite the ups and downs that we have materially, but still the spiritual master never gives up on us.
the spiritual master constantly is provoking us to move forward towards Krishna. So this, I think, is being appreciated by everyone seated here today. In Guru Maharaj's deep connection with Krishna, he's shown what it takes to practice Krishna consciousness. If those of us who have read his journals, those of us who have read his writings and we hear the classes would know the common message that his health has always been a challenge for him. But despite that, he is able to show us how to go beyond the bodily limitations and still practice Krishna consciousness, how to go beyond difficulties that we have practically as devotees in our everyday life. So, I was just remembering in Vrindavan, in the 40th anniversary of the Krishna Balaram temple opening, we had many devotees that were there, and many of the Prabhupada disciples that were there. And Guru Maharaj had asked me I was sharing with Maharaj that I wanted to get an opportunity to serve them there, because it's so rare to, within the next few years, 10 to 15 years, it will be a rare species on this planet to find a Prabhupada disciple, what to speak of our own spiritual masters. So I was taking that opportunity to try to render some service, and Maharaj asked me, he says, try to get me some Mahaprasad from these Prabhupada disciples, get me some remnants. And I was thinking, okay, how to go about doing that. And when I got there, fortunately, all of them took prasad in the restaurant, in Govinda's restaurant. So I just went to the back and was assisting from there to collect the plates and empty the plates. And everybody thought I was there for the Maha, for myself. So that was also true, but not to miss an opportunity, but to take that mood of Maharaj to get the remnants of his seniors and his godbrothers and those devotees that were serving Prabhupada. So I collected some of that, and then it was, I knew it's gonna, you know how hot it gets in India, so I knew it was gonna go bad. But nevertheless, Maharaj wanted some of that, and we collected some, and then it was washed out and dried out, and eventually it's something you wouldn't externally want to look at. But Maharaj appreciated it, and he honored it and relished it as prasadam from another Vaishnava. So I was reminded in the Chaitanya Charitamrita of this devotee, Kalidas, who would constantly try to get the remnants of other Vaishnavas. So he would first go and visit them and give them mangoes and different eatables. And then as they would offer it and eat and throw away the seed, he would go and collect that and honor that. And due to that deep, sincere mood of genuinely wanting the mercy of the Vaishnava, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually allowed him to take the Charanamrita from his lotus feet. He never did that with just everybody and anybody. So this was very significant, that Maharaj is a connoisseur of mercy, and he's always looking for ways to get mercy, and he shares that with us as well. So we've heard a lot today. I don't want to ramble on, but I think as Maharaj's disciples, if we hear Maharaj's message to us, which is many times he would repeat significant points that is going to help us. And many times he would repeat the point of shiksha and diksha.
that yes, we have our Diksha gurus, but Shiksha is also important. He would repeat the point of being humility, being humble. We heard just now also about cooperation. Tolerate, cooperate. So if we take these poignant, essential maxims and make it part of our heart, because this is the medicine, Bhagavashati, this is the medicine which is going to help us in our day-to-day practice. One of the points that was brought up today was on humility. And we know in the Shikshastikam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes that you can only chant, constantly chant the holy name if there's Trinadari, if there's a level of humility. So we see that with Guru Maharaj, he's constantly absorbed in chanting the holy names of the Lord. When this quality of humility, when we first join, then we in the mood of Das Anudas. I want to be the servant of the servant. And then gradually from there, we get initiated and we become Das. So progression. Das Anudas, then we become Das. And after a few years, we become Prabhu. And give it a few more years, Mahaprabhu. So it's not an easy thing to achieve, but according to Shikshastikam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying this is the essential criteria to constantly develop, to have the taste for chanting. So Guru Maharaj is always absorbed in the holy name, and for us, personally for me, that's a great inspiration to at least try. Please try. The standard is set quite high, the bar is set quite high, but I can try. I can try and move towards that. Another essential point, Guru Maharaj is always talking about loyam, greed. This is an essential aspect of greater advancement that we want to achieve. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Lidi, Traitum Kutopi Nalabhyate, Tatra Loyam Api Mulyamekadam, Janma Koti Sukhuti Nalabhyate. That this cannot be achieved, this level of loyam, greed, even after many koti births. It's not a thing that's just achievable like that. We need somebody to share this kind of deep connection with Krishna with us. And we see that in Guru Maharaj, that he has that even if he's in Vrindavan, Govardhan, or if he's here in South Africa, he's still deeply connected, irrespective of the external. And this is the instruction Rupa Goswami shares with us in Nectar of Instruction. Verse number 8 is another favorite of Guru Maharaj. This Tishtam Braje, to be connected with Vrindavan. Kannama Rupa Charita Vishukirtananu Smidyo Kamena Rasadama Sauryoya. Tishtam Braje, to be connected with Vrindavan, even though you're physically not there. So this is something that I personally took to heart, so that I can serve here and still be connected with Vrindavan today. So we're very fortunate. Just in essence, what Guru Maharaj just shared with us, and we'd like to plead to him to be patient with us as he's been, be caring as he's been, and don't give up on us. As much as we may try and have our moments of tantrums and difficulties, please don't give up on us and help us to achieve that goal that you experience. Hare Krishna.
Shri Guru Charanam Padma Kevalam Bhakti Sadma. The lotus feet of our spiritual master is the only means by which we can obtain bhakti. And that is the significance of the next part of our ceremony, as Maharaj has spoken.
I'll just say quickly, I want to thank Sri Dharma Prabhu. I think you all know him. He's been with me for 24 years. He has tolerated me for 24 years. Quite amazing. I joined when he was 17. Joined the temple, 17. He was in the DD department, running up and down. The ladies used to tell him what to do. Then I liberated him from the temple. He became my secretary, servant, travel advisor, health advisor, everything. Driver, protector, chauffeur. So over the years now, 25 years be next year. So although you see him in the background, he chose to be like that. Although he sings very nicely and he wants to be in the background. His service is very much appreciated. I want to also, before we just come to the next part, thank very much one particular family that has been helping me, and they've also helped the Phoenix family. This is Narad Singh and his family, parents and grandparents. They've helped very much, me personally, and I wanted to thank them also. There's Narad Singh and his family, his beautiful family.
Or I should be pleased to know that we've engaged His Grace Sri Dharma Prabhu in singing the Guru prayers today. So we will hear his wonderful voice. I think also a very special message from all of the disciples to Sri Dharma Prabhu. Thank you so much that he serves you so wonderfully and that he's always so willing to allow us to serve you as well. So we'll now have the foot bathing ceremony.
We'll see Maharaj, Ram Govinda Maharaj, opportune time now for me to go. So I will see him out.
His Holiness Ram Govinda Swami Maharaj ki. His Holiness Master Saranjidasa Swami Maharaj ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. So we will have kirtan while we set up for the Abhishek ceremony. As Maharaj leaves, we'd like to invite you tomorrow morning. Maharaj gives the Bhagavatam class here at the new Jagannath Puri temple, as well as His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj will do the Love Feast class tomorrow. So we'd like to invite all of you to the Love Feast program. Once again, His Holiness Ram Govinda Swami Maharaj ki.
What you going to do now with the bathing? I think we know this.
We'll have some kirtan while we set up for Abhishek. Sri Dharma Prabhu.
Sham, there's no sound here.
His Holiness Srila Parthasarathi Das Goswami Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. samsaradava nalanidaloka Tranaya karuna gana
His Holiness Partha Swami